Cows, 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 cows.
O'Leary is dead and O'Reilly don't know it. O'Reilly is dead and O'Leary don't know it. They both are dead in the very same bed, and neither one knows that the other one's dead. Baroom, baroom. O'Leary is dead and O'Reilly don't know it. O'Reilly is dead and O'Leary don't know it. They both are dead in the very same bed, and neither one knows that the other one's dead. Baroom, baroom. Yeah. Baroom, 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 baroom.
Thomas and Alfred,
Samuel Blunt,
Joseph S.
Crack,
Ed Koch, Rosemary,
and
the hotel
rapist
went to the movies. Then they went for a ride in
Samuel Blunt's sausage
car. They parked up on a hill at the edge of town. From there they could see
Thomas and Alfred's Pizza Hut. Thomas, it looks just like our Pizza Hut, said Alfred. It is our Pizza Hut, you stupid little man, said Thomas.
Baroom, baroom,
Said the hotel
rapist.
Rosemary
turned on the radio and found some music.
Eat that watermelon, eat that watermelon, eat that watermelon. Surely is good. Eat that watermelon, eat that watermelon, eat that watermelon. Surely is good.
This song
sucks, said S.
Crack. Oh,
You take that back, Rosemary.
screamed.
Make me,
Blunt, bring it
on
bitch, said S.
crack.
Oh, this will be
Funny,
said Ed Koch. Rosemary threw some curry on S.
Crack's
face.
Then
She threw open the door and ran from the
sausage
car.
but
S.
Crack chased after her, waving a sausage. When people saw this, their
As
blasted the thing into another
dimension,
Then Benny,
the great
soft
jelly
thing
came into the sausage
car
and
turned on the radio and found some music. But an announcer broke in with a news bulletin.
Johnston Beaver
Has escaped from the state prison. He is armed with a rubber chicken and is headed south on foot. His left hand is missing. In its place, he wears a dildo. Let's roll up the windows and lock the doors, said
Benny,
Let's throw him in the fire, said Thomas and Alfred. Let's not do anything stupid, said
Samuel Blunt. Then
the cows
came into the sausage
car.
and
all
hell
broke loose.
Let's throw him in the fire. Let's throw him in the fire. Let's throw him in the fire, said Thomas and Alfred. You
Both are
stupid.
Benny screamed.
Let's dance.
The cows, said Thomas and Alfred.
No, said
The cows, as Thomas and Alfred
danced.
they began singing.
Oh,
Cows are stupid.
and Benny don't know it. Benny is
Stupid.
and
Cows
don't know it. They both are
stupid.
in the very same sausage.
Carb
And neither one knows that the other one's
stupid.
But
Cow,
but
cow,
cut it out. Benny said it's not funny. Then
Shaggy Toot
came into the sausage.
carb,
I'll grab your underwear and wet it up your ass crack.
Cut it out.
Shaggy
or
I'll
throw you in the fire, said Thomas.
Shaggy.
Supper punched Thomas.
Let me show you something. You know what that means?
No, said
Thomas.
It don't mean nothing. But it scares you 'cause people don't be doing that. But me, bitch, I'm all about it.
Then
Shaggy.
Threw a beautiful
sausage at
Thomas and Alfred's Pizza Hut and ran from the
car.
Ed Koch.
grabbed
A handful of spaghetti noodles and tossed
it on Samuel Blunt's back.
Oh, I'm going to
Murder
you like I
murder
my
wife,
said
Blunt. Oh,
shit, said Ed Koch.
Blunt grabbed him and ground him up. Oh, Blunt said, Benny,
That's
it's not a sausage grinder. It's
a cow. Stupid,
fat butcher,
said Ed Koch. Are you sure you aren't retarded? Said the French hotel
rapist.
Did you forget? Justin Bieber's
Still on the loose, Benny.
said. Oh, cows, Thomas said. Calm down, Thomas, said Alfred. Justin Bieber's just a sack of
Breathe,
you
best into
sacks, Thomas replied.
everyone.
Shut
Up, said Blunt.
No, you shut up, said Thomas.
Then they heard a dildo tap on the window.
Sounds like
A dildo.
said Ed Koch.
Everyone aboard the car turned to the window.
Saw Justin Bieber waving a
Still no. And I'm scared and I want to go home.
Benny said. Samuel Blunt
Was annoyed. Girls always are afraid of some things.
I'm not a
Girl, I am a great soft jelly thing.
smoothly rounded with pearls and white toes filled by
Thought where my eyes
used to be. Justin Bieber
broke the window open
with his
still no. And
oh
no, said
Thomas and Alfred and the cows and
Samuel Blunt.
and Ed Cock. Justin Bieber laughed like a little gay baby. The men had no idea what he would do next. That really was nothing to be afraid of, they told one another. After all, what could a faggot do?
Then
In a crazy voice, Justin Bieber
screamed,
Cox, Cox, Cox.
Cock-a-doobie!
Shut up, Justin, or the sun will make you eat 3 traffic lights, said Ed Cock.
then
Justin knocked the hotel rapist out with
his rubber chicken.
oh
Samuel Blunt threw the sausage grinder at
Justin,
but the boy broke it by
eating
it.
that was mine,
Best sausage grinder, Blunt.
said.
He was pissed.
Justin didn't care. He just danced around
Like a
rubber chicken. Rubber chicken.
said Justin. Let's throw the cows
At
Justin, said Thomas and Alfred, and that'll be that. Let's not do anything stupid, said
Benny.
Shut the hell up, you motherfucking
Jelly peanut.
said Thomas.
Benny became angry
He jumped up
and started
beating the crap out of Thomas. Thomas
screamed,
the Wilhelm
screamed. Then
Jim Galo
came into
the car, and he said,
Jim Dale specializes in murders. Thomas, you will die.
Nipples?
Have a sausage.
Thomas was dead. Jim Galo kicked Justin Bieber
and ran
off. Justin Bieber broke the car.
Everyone aboard started running, and
Justin
chased after, then waving a
rubber chicken.
when Harold
saw this. He made a big sausage. He called it
Harold's
special sausage.
he threw the wonderful sausage.
The sausage
Had fallen
on Justin Bieber. Justin
was killed.
everyone gathered
Around
Harold, thank you for rescuing us. Harold said. What the hell? Ed Cock said. Let's throw him in the fire, said Alfred. Said Harold, as Alfred, Ed Cock, and
Benny.
watched. Harold threw old sacks on Alfred.
No.
Old sacks. My one weakness, said Alfred. Alfred was dead.
He was
Just a sack of old sacks, stuffed with cows, stuffed with sewer rats, stuffed with spiders, said the cows.
when kittens and puppies saw this.
They ate Harold.
Benny
Told the son that Thomas and Alfred,
both are dead.
they felt as if they had escaped a great danger and began singing. One of the cows said,
Shall we do it now? No, said the other
cows.
Let's wait till
Harold.
comes.
But Harold is
Dead.
said one of the cows.
Then
The cows threw Thomas and Alfred's corpses in the fire.
And when it got dark, they went to bed.
With Jim Dale.
And now a message from Harold.
What in the
Name of cows aren't you saying? Said Thomas. Harold is speaking old sacks. Ish, said the cows. Harold said. Cows.
What
Did Harold say? Alfred asked. He said,
Baby sacks, baby sacks. What the
fuck, said Thomas and Alfred.
Well, I got a woman named Wilma. Well, I got a baby named Pepper. Well, I got a doggy named
Aaron Kelly's bone? Aaron Kelly was
Just a sack of old sacks.
They bought him a baby and had a big hot horse, and
They ate
the dead man's corpse. But that night, he got out of them.
through their buttholes.
He came home. His family was sitting around the fire when he walked in. He sat down next to
Thomas and Alfred. Let's throw him in the fire.
Aaron Kelly.
Killed Thomas and Alfred.
He sat down next to his widow and he said, "What's going on, bitch? You all act like I
Killed
somebody.
Who's dead?" His widow said, "You are a pedophile." "No," said Aaron Kelly. "I don't feel children," he said. "I feel
old man sacks.
You don't look fine," his widow said. "You look
Like
a dead. You'd better get back to the grave where you belong."
faggot?
"I'm not going back to the grave until I feel dead," he said. Since Aaron wouldn't go back, his widow couldn't collect his soul. Without that, she couldn't pay for the coffin, and the undertaker said he would
Murder her
Aaron didn't give
A flying horse.
penis.
He just sat by the fire, jerking off in a chair and warming his rubber chicken. Aaron took out a joint and
Smoked it in his widow's
Face.
Cut it out,
bastard.
said his widow.
"No,
You
can't tell me what to
Do,
Aaron
replied.
But his spaghetti noodles were dry, and his back was
Twisted.
and every time he moved, he cracked.
My name is
Aaron Kelly,
My cock's like
Kelly,
I murder my haters. Fucking master haters.
baby sacks, baby sacks, baby sacks.
Shut up, stupid.
Corpse, his widow.
screamed.
One night,
Tommy with
so the best fiddler in town came to
do.
the widow. Since Aaron was dead,
Tommy
wanted to marry her.
You're tearing me apart!
he said.
The two of them sat on one side of the fire, and Aaron
Threw cow sacks.
Into the ghost.
See man's asshole.
"How long do we have to put up with this dead?"
A sack of old sacks,
the widow asked. "Something must be done,"
said Tommy.
"This is stupid," Aaron said. "Let's dance."
Tommy
Got out his dead babies and began to play. Aaron stretched himself, shook himself,
funked
himself, shook himself,
threw
himself,
in the sun.
and began to dance. With his old bones rattling and his yellow
Wood.
napping and his balls flapping and his bills flopping around and around and around and around and around and around he went with his long cock clicking. How that man danced! Then Aaron fell apart, collapsed into a pile of
Old sacks.
all except his balls. "Play louder!" cried the widow. "Whoa!" said the balls. "Ain't we having fun?"
Tommy
With so couldn't stand it.
I'm fed up with this world.
The family gathered up Aaron's bones and put 'em back in
the cows.
They mixed 'em up so he couldn't fit 'em together. After that, Aaron stayed in his grave, but his widow never did get to fuck a rubber chicken again. Aaron had seen to that. The baby
Sacks.
It was 9 o'clock in the evening, Everybody was sitting on
Samuel Blunt's special sausage.
the couch in front of
The sausage.
TV. There were
Thomas and Alfred, Harold.
Samuel Blunt, Ed Koch, and
the big slithery D.
They
were
watching
alligators.
Horton.
that
Alligator had
the tiny
peanuts.
said Thomas.
The telephone rang. Maybe it's
The cows, said Thomas. Oh, fuck all cows, said Alfred.
Screamed
the big slithery D.
while
Eating Harold's face.
Ed Koch
He picked up the phone. Before Ed could say a word, a man laughed hysterically and hung up. Who was it? Asked
Little
Richard.
My
Nuts, said Ed.
Ed Koch.
What did I miss? You missed
a big
King Key.
3
alligators.
He said Thomas.
At 9:30, the telephone rang again.
Ed Koch
Answered it. It was the man who had called before. I'll be there soon, he said, and he laughed and hung up. Who was it?
Samuel Blunt,
Asked. Some crazy
motherfucker. Koch
said. About 10 o'clock, the telephone rang again.
Alfred.
Got to it first.
Stupid cows.
Go away. It's not.
The cows.
Ed screamed.
It was the same man. One more walk, he said. And he laughed and hung up. He said one more horn. What did he mean? Asked
Alfred.
Then
The cows.
came into
the house and turned on the electric.
No, said Thomas and Alfred. No. Thomas and Alfred
Were
so
angry
that they died.
Don't worry, said
The cows
no one ever
liked them.
About 10:30, the telephone rang once more. When Ed picked it up, the man said, "Pretty soon now." "Why are you doing this?" Ed screamed, and he hung up. Was it that guy again?" asked.
Samuel Blunt,
"Yes," said
Ed Koch,
I'm going to call the operator and complain. The operator said, "Baby sacks, baby sacks," and he hung up. Was that guy? "Hi," said
The cows.
At 11 o'clock, the telephone rang again.
The cows.
Answered it.
This is an evil cow. Flee while you can, said the cows.
The man didn't care. Very soon now, the man said. And he hung up. "That person is calling from a telephone upstairs," said
The cows.
"We'd better leave. I'll get the horse."
Bring
On the horse, screamed
Ed Koch,
Just then, a door upstairs opened. A man they had never seen before started down the stairs toward them. As they ran from the house, he was smiling in a very stupid way. A few minutes later, the
Nazis
found him there and
threw his
asked,
in the sun. Thank you, Nazis, said
everyone.
Nazis. You're just sacks of old sacks, said Alfred.
"Corpse."
The Nazis
Became angry.
The Nazis burst.
Everyone was killed.
Screamed
The big slithery D.
while
Eating the sun. The cows.
Song. Don't you ever laugh as the
Cows
go in, for you may be the next to get
thrown in the fire.
by.
Thomas and Alfred,
They wrap you up in
old sacks stuffed with semen.
from your dick down to your dildos. They
rape
You with
a big black
cock
and cover you up with spaghetti noodles. All goes well for about a week.
Then
Thomas and Alfred
begin to fuck. The cocks crawl in, the cocks crawl out, the cocks play pee-pee on your
sausage.
They eat your
Babies.
They eat your
Babies.
They eat the
Babies.
between your
Babies.
A big green penis with rolling eyes crawls in your stomach and out your
Man sauce.
your sperm turns a slimy green, and old woman
Smoke blunts.
between your toes, and
Jim Caleb
plays
Basketball.
with
the corpse.
and then
Harold
begins to
Finger.
the furry.
and then
The son.
begins to get high, and then
Ed Cock has sex with hot 16-year-old Rosemary.
and then
Ed Cock gets castrated for being a
death,
pedophile.
and then
Old sacks
get
stuffed with new sacks.
and then
Rubber chicken.
and then your stomach turns a slimy green, and turds pour out like whipping cream. You spread it on a slice of penis bread, and that's what you eat when you are picked.
High dildos. The girl driving the old blue sedan was
The Rosemary
She lived in a
bald house
about 8 inches away and used the car to drive back and forth and 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 back and back and back and back and
sausage.
She had driven into town that night to see a new alligator
Porno
called rainbows. Alligators, 3, room for 1 more. Green gator, dick. Now she was on her way home. As she pulled away, she noticed a pink hearse follow her out of the fucking lot. A few minutes later, the hearse was still behind her. The driver of the hearse
True till
out the window. I guess the driver has a direction, she thought. She began to watch the hearse in her mirror. When she took speed, the driver in the hearse took off his speed. Though when she passed the gas, so did he. Then he turned on his high dildos, flooding her car with light. He left them on for almost a minute. He probably wants to fuck me, she thought, but she was becoming uneasy. Usually she drove
through the go-see man's asshole.
Not too many people went that way. But when she turned onto that road, so did the hearse. I've got to get away from him, she thought, and she began to drive faster. Then he turned his high dildos on again. After a minute, he turned them off. Then he turned them on again, and off again, and 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 on again, and off again. After a minute, he turned them on again, and off again. She drove even faster, but the hearse driver stayed right behind her. Then he turned his high dildos on again, and off again, and 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 on again. Once more, her car was ablaze with light. What is he doing, she wondered. Does he want
My ass.
Then he turned them off again. But a minute later, he had them on again, and off again, and 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 on again, and he left them on. At last she pulled into her driveway, and the hearse pulled in right behind her. She jumped from the car and ran to the bald house. Fuck the police, she screamed at her father. Out in the driveway, she could see the driver of the hearse. He had a gun in his butt. When the police arrived, they started to murder him, but he pointed to the
Rosemary's
cock. You don't want me, he said. You want him. Crouched behind
Rosemary,
there was a penis with a knife. As the driver of the hearse explained it, the dick slipped into the girl's car just before she left. He saw it happen, but there was no way he could stop it. He thought about getting the police, but he was a
stupid sack of old sacks.
Each time the dick in the back seat reached up to overpower her, the driver of the hearse turned on his high dildos. Then the penis dropped down. Afraid, that someone might see him.
If I could, I wouldn't quit. I can't stop selling yayo. There ain't nothing like a Lexus drop top that you paid for. I can't stop selling yayo. There ain't nothing like a drop top Benz that you paid for. I can't stop selling yayo. There ain't nothing.
About he doesn't give a shit.
Since none of you stop bitching, here's
A new scary story, cold as
cock.
Aaron Kelly had a daughter for whom he cared more than anything on earth, except for
Sewer rats
and babies and anus
and Harold's stupid dick and cows and
Fat puppy rapists
and
alligator.
butt sex and
sausage.
Aaron Kelly's
65-year-old daughter
slithery
pussy
fell in love with
Thomas and Alfred,
but
Aaron Kelly was sick of the two men murdering his pet cows and told them to fuck off.
to keep them apart, he made a slithery
Pussy watched as he stretched out Thomas and Alfred's foreskins very slowly
and smothered them with their
own
own
ball sacks.
They wasted away and died. Everyone said they died of a broken
Cock.
slithery.
Pussy
He continued to think about
sucking Thomas and Alfred's traffic light-shaped dicks in the pizza hut where they lived.
and the life they might have had together. One night, many weeks later,
Thomas and Alfred
Came back
from the dead. That was a natural thing
for Thomas and Alfred
to do. There was a knock on the slithery
Pussy's
door. When she opened the door,
Thomas and Alfred
were standing there.
farting up a shitstorm.
Your father asked,
raped
A game, not sea cows, and we threw it in the fire, said Thomas and Alfred.
"Is there anything wrong?" Slithery
Pussy
asked. "I don't know,"
said Alfred.
She packed a few
Bus stops
and a few alligators
and
a few
traffic light anuses and
a few
fat puppies.
and
a few pieces,
huts.
and they left. She rode behind
Alfred
clinging to his
bloody nutsack.
Soon he complained of
A testy
cold ache. It aches something,
Oh,
he told her. She put her baby's big pee-pee on his foreskin. Why, you're as cold as
3 fat and jolly
Game traffic lights stuffed with old sacks, stuffed with cow sacks, stuffed with big game sacks, stuffed with pudding sacks, stuffed with Nazi sacks, stuffed with stupid
spaghetti noodles. Slithery
pussy.
said, "I hope you're not ill." And she wrapped her gray feet around his head. They traveled so swiftly that in a few hours they reached Aaron Kelly's penis house. Slithery
Pussy.
quickly dismounted and knocked on the penis door. Aaron Kelly was startled to see her. "Didn't you
Asked
rape
a gay Nazi cow.
she asked. "No, no, I didn't," Aaron Kelly said. She turned to
Thomas and Alfred, but Thomas and Alfred
turned into they turned into the pile of
Thomas and Alfred
turned into the pile of noses.
Mura. Oh, O'Leary is dead, and O'Reilly don't know it. O'Reilly is dead, and O'Leary don't know it. They both are dead in the very same bed, and neither one knows that the other one's dead. Barum.
cows sacks,
Mura.
cows sacks.
O'Leary is dead, and O'Reilly don't know it. O'Reilly is dead, and O'Leary don't know it. They both are dead in the very same bed, and neither one knows that the other one's dead. Barum. Mura.
Cows sacks. Let's throw him in the fire, said Thomas.
A man who lived on
Weed.
Some say this rhyme doesn't mean anything. Others say this rhyme means nothing. There was a man who lived on
Weed.
He filled his bong full of green, and when
His
high began to grow, he ate two
Fat
ass black need.
grows. But when the man began to ship, it was like a baby without a dick, And when the baby began to get,
stuffed with old sacks.
it was like a bird without a
But
crack. And when the bird began to
fart,
it was like an ee. And when the sky began to roar, it was like a lion
eating
my whore. And when the whore began to
scream, oh,
it was like
Darth
Vader
saying,
This is Charlie. He looks pretty ugly, doesn't he? Say hi to Charlie. Charlie has a problem. Can you tell what his problem is? It's quite obvious. He is a smoker. Charlie sometimes smokes 2 cigars or cigarettes at a time. He smokes so much that he usually passes out. This is what Charlie used to look like. Handsome. More hair. Better body. Now he looks like this. Stinky. Fat and ugly. And all that is because he smokes. His lungs are a mess. They were all burnt and blackened. And if Charlie continues smoking, he will end up like this. You don't want that, do you, Charlie? Throw those cigs away now. It isn't too late. Charlie threw them out. Now how do you feel, Charlie? Good, Charlie. If any smokers are watching, then throw your cigarettes away now or I mean arrest you.
old horse, all for skin and bone. There was an old horse, all for skin and bone, who master
waited
in the graveyard all alone. Ooh.
Oh, oh.
She thought she'd go digging up a corpse
and
ride the dead
cock like a horse.
Oh, oh.
And when
The cows
came up to the whore,
Thomas and Alfred said, "Let's throw him in the fire."
some more. Ooh.
Oh, oh.
And when the whore looked around, she saw
Dead cows
upon the ground. Ooh.
Oh, oh.
From
there were cocks
into her pussy, the worms crawled out and the worms crawled in. Ooh.
Oh, oh.
The whore to
Thomas and Alfred
said, "Shall I look like that when I am dead?" Ooh.
Oh,
Thomas and Alfred turned her into a cow and threw her in the fire.
Best can't, fuck. Best can't, fuck. Best can't, fuck. Best can't, fuck. So don't even try. Best can't fuck there. Can't fuck here. Best can't fuck there. Can't fuck here either. Why can't Best have sex? Best can't go to game sites. Can't play game party. Best can't go to John sites. Can't feed people. Best can't go